Well, I figure while I'm out here, I'll talk about a latest movie I saw. This is about a week ago, actually. Downsizing from 2017, starring Matt Damon. I think his name is, in this movie, Pete Safranek, and that does become an important plot point later on, but I'm just going to refer to him as Matt Damon. You start the movie off for a good several minutes, focusing on like this Norwegian science team. This guy shrinks down a lab rat successfully, and he's having a cow over this, and he's telling his colleagues, and I'm just like, so what? Why do these guys later in the movie have to have their heads shaved? Because Matt Damon is just in awe of this. Wow, that's incredible, they shrunk a guy. You know, it takes like 12 years before this really comes out to the general public, and it's like, hey, a friend of mine shrunk himself, Jason Sudeikis. Yeah, he shrunk himself down to 5 inches. Didn't end up with a high-pitched voice, and thus retaining his actual voice is scientifically impossible. They would just sound so wee. It might be like a dog whistle, honestly. Oh, but for plot convenience sake, it's like, hey, we can hear you. May need a megaphone, that's about it. Anyways, this movie really drags. There's pointless scene after pointless scene. We have Matt Damon hanging out with his mom, whom years later we don't see anymore, so we assume she died from this medical condition. And I'm like, did this need to be brought up? You know, why not just show us with Kristen Wiig so we have an idea how their relationship's going? Because it shows them married, and then he goes and tells her, hey, let's go get small. Look how big of a house we can get with our money. We won't have to work. Your money goes so much further. Everybody's like a millionaire. It'll be great. We'll live at this leisure land. And she goes along with it, and he gets shaved down, even though that shrunken lab rat has its hair on it. And we don't see the hair. But if this experiment was successful, and the rat lived, then its hair shrunk down too. Now I can kind of understand you take some gold filaments out of your teeth, artificial heart won't shrink down. You know, if we leave it to biological stuff, sure, I get that. But this is damn stupid still. And this is a movie that really drags its foot. You think this review is tedious? How about the damn party scene? So Kristen Wiig wigs out, of course, decides not to undergo the thing, didn't like getting shaved. And so Matt Damon's stuck alone in the divorce. He loses so much stuff, probably because she needs more of it, being a big person. And now he has to live in some crap apartment and date an old lady. His upstairs roommate is the Jewish hunter finder from that shitty Tarantino movie everybody likes. He tells him to go upstairs and enjoy the party at his place. He's got a lot of small bigwigs there. And this scene just goes on and on just for the idea that, hey, Matt Damon got too drunk or tripped on some acid, and now he ends up meeting this Vietnamese gal that was the sole survivor of a TV box incident. She was shrunk down, and everybody that was being illegally moved out of her country died in there, but she lost a leg. And he tries to fix it because he has some kind of medical background, but he's not quite a doctor. And she just takes him to super poor shrunk people land outside of leisure land. And he like tries to help people there. There's really a lot of missed opportunities in Downsizing. For example, all the furniture in Matt Damon's awesome dollhouse has to be made small, specifically. Not big stuff shrunk down. But when he goes and hangs out with the poor people who can't have that stuff, it's like, what did I see there? All I saw was like a thimble. Or like a spool of yarn somebody's sitting on, like something like that. I mean, he hangs out with the Vietnamese gal. She says a few funny things here and there, and the movie kind of picks up some when she's involved. But then rich guy, Tarantino's dude, he goes and says, hey, we got this special trip. We're going to go see the original colony of shrunken people. Come with us. She's like, I come too. I was always invited. People felt bad for my leg thing and all this. They go see them, and they have almost like a cult. Like this guy's the leader. He says that doomsday's coming, something about gas out of Antarctica or something like this. Everybody has to go into the mine for 1,000 years. Come with us, Matt Damon. And he's like, oh, sure. And this is a bit of a turning point here because he's falling in love with the Vietnamese gal who is the only person in the whole movie who said his name correctly. Now, we have him just following the leader, getting Trump, okay, sure, that sounds like a great idea, I'll do it. Oh, you want to go into the mine now? Okay, sure, yeah, sounds like a great idea. But finally, he gets a little bit of backbone, makes his own decision, and leaves the tunnel to go hook up with the Vietnamese gal. And then we have a last scene that just doesn't make any sense. It's raining, and he's helping with some supplies. So the hell what? I'm telling you, this movie didn't need to be the 2 hours, 15 minutes? Why? This could have been done in an hour 45 at best. Downsizing 2 out of 4 stars.